Hi everybody, it's the dental assistant tutor here, Teresa, and I just want to give an update on the local news in Not So Tennessee about the dentist that was caught not sterilizing instruments properly, and how a few local dentists stepped up to ease patients' minds. And we need this more than ever in this day and age. With so many diseases coming about, even with Ebola over in another country, there are things being shut down that people don't really research about, and these diseases are coming over this way. And so this couldn't have happened, unfortunately, at a better time to just bring awareness to what's going on. And so these three dentists took a chance and went on the local news to share with others, patients, about how to not be afraid to ask questions. So, if any of these patients have seen this and they're not these doctors' patients, they're definitely going to start asking questions around town and maybe around the world because the news does travel. So, be ready to answer the questions. How do you sterilize? Can I see the instruments? And make sure that you're up to par on understanding sterilization. I know when we have been in the field for a while and we don't study the books, we tend to forget some things. We just go into routine. So maybe take a refresher CE on uh, Crest.com or any of those free sites. Dentacare has free CEs. Let's see here. I wanted to mention that, these three doctors combined have so much knowledge because of the years they have been in the field, and they have all great backgrounds. And so I decided to go ahead and share these doctors' websites. So the links are on my blog page so you can check them out. I think it's really interesting how everybody does their websites too, since I've learned so much about it. And I kind of rant and raved about one. So check it out because if you know how to do certain things, then your practice can improve. And if your practice improves, then the life of the staff members improve and of the patients. Because staff need raises, there's still that fuss out there about that. And there is also some grief going on about how some doctors are not paying for overtime or for uh, being able to order supplies. I read that on social media and I thought, oh my goodness, a dentist can't order supplies. You got to have supplies. That's number one, so you can take care of the patients to get the treatment done and then to be able to pay your staff. So I understand overhead is getting costly for some, especially with all the modern technology that you have to have or the design of the office so patients can see that it's fresh and new. If you're one of those doctors that cannot afford to pay, and there are some out there, and it just happens. Everybody handles money differently. But if you're one of those doctors that cannot afford to get your office painted, I worked for a dentist that while he was on vacation, I'm sure he can afford to go get it painted. But he trusted me and a few other staff members to paint the entire office and wallpaper it and go shopping and pick out, decorative pieces. And you guys can do that too to keep it fresh. You want to see fresh paint. You want to see clean floors. I recently had to take a family member to the emergency room, not once but twice. Some issues going on, and oh my goodness, there was blood on the floor. The first time I cleaned it up, I threw some gloves on because I know what to do. Being in a dental, blood's blood, whether it's in the hospital setting or if it's in the office. I cleaned it up because I know they were extremely busy, and it's just with some of the hospitals closing here in Tennessee, it's really taken a toll. And so, with that being said, we had to go again, and it was worse the second time. So I took a few pictures and I posted them on my blog so you can see it's not just the dentist office, it's the hospitals too that need to be checked. I'm just saying. But anyway, I hope this helps somebody kind of stay up to par with their sterilization techniques. Also, remember 10 minutes in the cold sterile and 10 hours. 10 minutes, you're just disinfecting something. 10 hours, you're sterilizing something. And you still want to put your burrs in there. You want to heat sterilize those, even if it's the statum. And you need to check your monitoring weekly. Everything needs to have a label on it because I'm sure TOSHA is going to be coming around in Tennessee, if not OSHA. So make sure the CDC guidelines are met and that you have the OSHA labels, everything on there that you need to have. Has to be checked off, marked, and then you need to have an MSDS book, which is now called SDS book. They dropped the M a few years back. So make sure you have a list with an index so you know exactly where to go. And every employee in your office needs to know where that book is, and it needs to be signed by each employee in the office, including your sterile cycle. Take advantage of that. I know sterile cycle comes and picks up blood waste contaminants, and if you don't use sterile cycle, there's other ones, and I have them on my blog page as well. But check into that because they have free CEs if you're a member, and it's an exact subject that we need. So make sure you're up to par on that. All right, guys. I'm thinking, let me just check my little cheat sheet real quick. I think that's it. I had to rant and rave about Yvonne. She at Sakura Hills Dental Arts. Um, I've spoken to her a few times about students and getting to know the office more, especially researching their website. I'm pretty impressed with the office manager, as well as the doctors. So check her out as well on the website. Um, we need more front office people that answer the phone, being polite and not sound like you're in a hurry. And I know that's difficult, but you have to have that, because you're the first image in the dentist office when the phone rings. And try to get it by the third phone call, the third ring. I've learned that in case you're new and you're watching this, because this channel is directly for my students, but I do share some of the news on here because it just needs to be said. And when people need praise, they need praise. And I think these three doctors did an outstanding job sharing that on the local news channel and giving peace of mind. All right, guys. Have a blessed day, and remember, be kind to one another. We all have enough stress in this world. We don't need to be aggravated with each other, as I have read many times over and over. So, if you have a coworker that's just irritating you, find out what's going on with them, get to know them, and a lot of good positive vibes going out there lately with people doing kind things for each other as staff members. So keep that up. If you haven't, you better get started. Bye, guys.